Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. As the title suggests, we are going to be drawing today. We're doing art today. Yay! Today we'll be doing a MS Paint drawing. As you can see over there in the left corner. Hi Chester. Hello Chester. How are you? How you doing? Welcome. We're doing MS Paint today. I've decided that would be a fun thing to try out. As you can see over there in the left corner, that's the drawing we're going to be creating. I made that one recently, and yeah, we're just going to be vibing to music. Usually we watch videos with this, but I wanted to vibe to music. We're not doing the usual playlist. We're doing one of the playlists I shared with you guys, the Chill With Me playlist. Yeah, so, yes, I thought we'd vibe along. But yeah, is my thing not connected? Why is my drawing tablet just not working? Oh, maybe it's because it's... Okay, this is kind of awkward. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Okay. Have I used MS Paint before? Yes. When I was in middle school. And, you know, trying to, what's it called? Make my own little designs because I didn't have an art program. And I only had a mouse with me. Oh, does it? Sorry about that. That's so weird. My mic was fine, and then it just died on me for some reason. Is this a little better? Is it still kind of bad? Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I hate when this happens. I don't know why. I wonder if it's because of the fan? Should it be? Ah, my microphone. This is so sad. Is this better? Hopefully it's better. I don't know. It was fine, and then I took a break and moved around, and then my mic just kind of stopped. Microphone is slowly dying. It kind of is. It kind of is. Oh. Do we need a new microphone? I can't afford a new microphone! This is so sad. I can't afford another microphone. I do. Oh no, it's like the funny mic. Oh no, I got the funny mic going on. This isn't fun. This isn't funny. Oh, this isn't so funny anymore. Okay. Okay, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to, okay, let me grab my other headphones so I can listen to the stream while I fix this. I'm just gonna be wearing two headphones. We'll see how this goes. Oh gosh, I sound horrible. Okay, just wait. This is kind of... Why did it go like this? I'm like scared to talk now. Is it fun? Okay. I like moved my microphone to the floor. Hopefully. Oh, this is so sad. You're silly. I know, but I don't want you guys to like Oh, my model just kind of lost tracking. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna pause the music real quick, guys, just so I can hear myself a little better. If you hear bumping, it's because I'm actually holding onto the mic. I wonder if it's because it's like struggling to hear me. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Now the mic's on the floor instead of next to me. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off my fan. It truly is a tech support moment. This is... Guys, it's way too hot. It's too hot to not have a fan. Whatever. Okay, microphone is back on the table. Because I don't want to, like, kick it on accident. It's too hot. It's 72 degrees, but it's warmer in my apartment. Oh, no, you guys can't even hear me. It's too hot. It's too hot. What happens if I do this instead? I don't really understand what the little circles at the bottom of my microphone mean. No, truly, all of the fans in my house have been on this entire week. I apologize to you for your guys' ears right now. I am so sorry. Okay. So, we're just gonna have to start from the beginning. This is just with noise suppression. Okay. Now this is with noise gate. I don't understand what these things mean. Is it just... I can't tell if it's because of my voice. Hi, Wen! I'm trying to fix my mic. It broke again. Mic is brokey right now. But I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Second better. Is this a little better? I moved the mic down. It's clear enough right now. It's a little better? Okay, so I added a limiter. What if we add the game back? Went to China for the summer and couldn't watch? It's okay, don't worry. How was China? How was that? Was that a good trip? Okay, I added gain and that just completely ruined everything. I don't know if you heard me, but I had one. Okay. Sorry. I can hear myself because I'm trying to listen in on how to fix the microphone. But it's not going well. But yeah, it was nice. That's good. What if I add a compressor? What does the compressor do? Oh wait! Does this sound better? My mic, not my mic, I hate my voice. I feel like my voice just doesn't help this. I feel like my voice, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, one, for the bits. Did it not show up? Oh, because overlays are turned off. Why are overlays turned off? There you go. There. Ah. Okay. Why are overlays so loud? I can't. We're gonna lower that. I'm gonna lower them for a bit. Okay. So I apologize for the quality. I will have to fix that off stream. But this is as good as it gets. Okay, well, I hope you have a great rest and good luck with school tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's too hot. I don't have a hair tie. Ah, this is so sad. But yes, good night. Okay, let me grab my actual headphones. Where did I put them? Oh, wait! Guys, I found a hair tie. Oh no. Oh no, not Genshin. Guys, I found a hair tie. This is amazing. I can put my hair up. You know what sucks? So, okay, I don't think you guys know this, but I have a lot of hair. Like, my hair is way too thick, so I can't use the regular little hair ties that they sell, like the stereotypical tiny hair ties. I cannot use those because if I try to make my ponytail, I can't see with anything right now. I took off my glasses to do this. But if I wear a ponytail, those hair ties break after the second use. So I had to buy these like really big, thick hair ties for my hair, and oh my goodness, it's been amazing. Also, I lost my headphones. Oh wait, no, they're right here. I'm joking, guys. I lied. Okay. We're back to listening to music. I am so sorry for the microphone quality, guys. I wish it was better, but I guess we're just gonna have to stay with this. Okay. So, I'm gonna make this a little darker. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, wait, no, cancel. Okay, so we need to do the sketch. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we're gonna do the sketch. So that's the drawing we are going to be recreating. I made that one recently. So we'll see how it goes. Music too loud? Okay. Is this better? Maybe I need to make my voice louder. Cause I realized that I had my phone really loudly, the music. Okay. Is this too loud? All good? Is this better? I would like to apologize. I really need a new mic, but I just genuinely cannot afford a new mic. Like, even a decent one. It is what it is. We've had this mic for 2 years now, guys. This mic has been with us for 2 years. It's been with me since I've moved like 4 times. It's probably been dropped actually it has been dropped several times. Mic is brokey, but that's okay. You know, it's okay. Let's just continue. Yeah. So I guess I could talk about the drawing. So the drawing we are working on, is part of this little series I have where I draw angels. Oh wow, I forgot I added this onto this playlist. I watched the Rio movie and this movie just was so good. Yes. You love angels. Angels are amazing. But I have a little series where I draw angels, and so the angels I draw are a bit different than stereotypical angels. And it's because the angels I draw have this type of eyes, so they don't have a face. The angels well, they do have a face, they just don't have eyes. So my angels don't have eyes. Instead, they have those two rings that connect together that have eyes all over them. So those are their eyes with one single eyeball in the center. They have noses and mouths, but no eyes. And then my angels don't have feathered wings. They have membranous wings, like insects. Yeah. So that's my interpretation of angels. Why? Because I felt like it. But yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you think it's cool. I think it's cool too. I think I made that hand a little too big. But yeah. I think angels are cool. I built a biblically accurate angel once. That actually sounds fun. Like I actually built a biblically accurate angel statue twice already. And it was like 3 rings like this hung up, and then people would stand inside of it. So this is a person. So this is what I built. The first time I built it out of cardboard and it broke several times. The second one was built out of pool noodles and was very floppy, but it still was a lot better. It was very heavy. My arms were so sore because I couldn't lift. To make sure that all the eyes were set properly, I had to hold it up myself. And it hurt. Angels are just cool in general. They are. I forgot I can't use an eraser. My eraser on my pen. But whatever. Excuse me. Okay, I think I made the fingers a little too long, but it is what it is. But yeah, so this is the angel. But yeah, my angels also have segmented bodies. So, and you can't see it with their legs because they're of the skirt. But essentially with their legs, the way I have it is it's the hip, and it is very similar to that, where it is to their arms, where their thighs are segmented, and then this is segmented, and as well as their feet. But it's essentially they don't have joints. The only joints that they have are on their fingers and their neck, which they do have necks. But my angels don't have like elbows or wrists or knees. Yeah, that's good. I hadn't drawn in a while because I just wasn't liking the way my art was looking. I tried out some new stuff with my character. But it just didn't feel right. But yeah, we might do different coloring. Because I don't know how close I can get to the original colors without opening the color in Clip Studio. You know? Also, this isn't a color wheel, so it's a little harder to do. Okay, that's a little too orangey. I need to do more reddish. Okay. No, this feels... Okay. Yeah, do art with me. This doesn't feel... It's... I'm so used to a color wheel. You guys can't see... the... This... How do I explain it? You guys can't see the color... square? It's like a color square. It's like a rainbow that fades. It's very interesting. And it's kind of hard to color pick stuff. Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll have to go with this color. I know it's not accurate, but we'll have to go with that because that's as close as I could get. I realize I still have the filters for the microphone open, so I can't see you guys on my laptop. There you go. I can see you guys better now, instead of looking at my phone. I should probably put a text saying, sorry for audio issues. Cool. Color wheel to see. No, honestly, color wheel, I never realized how much I appreciated color wheel until they took it from me. Sorry for bad mic. It broke. We have to change the color. There. And then we'll just put it right here. Sorry for bad mic. It broke. Amazing text. Amazing. It truly is just amazing. Ew, it gets fuzzy. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna do all the details of the head because the hair covers it anyways. And so does the eyes. That's fine. We're just gonna pretend, you know? We're just gonna pretend it came out decently. Having no stabilization is so weird. I'm like, what do you mean I have to actually be decent? Yeah, I feel like this came out too orangey, right? It looks too orangey. Okay. Maybe I need a little more yellowy in it. No. It's like, if I make it lighter, I'm just whitewashing her. I don't want that. Okay, we're pulling up Clip Studio. Cause, oh wait, can I color drop? I can color drop. Wait. Oh. Sorry, one of my classmates just asked if we had class today. Nights at the motel on the street lights. Oh, dude, I love that. Being an art major has made that so nice. It's kind of hard to do with the wheel, without no wheel. Especially because I can't, oh wait, I can. It just won't let me with my, I was like, I can't drag. I was like, it won't let me drag the thing. I can drag it. It just won't let me with my pen for some reason. Wait, let's try this color. Okay, that color is too yellowy. You told me no. I've been up for 3 nights at the motel on the street lights. Okay, no, screw it. We're just screenshotting the pit image and pulling it up on here. I can't bother with this. I can't bother with this. It's just, I'm not used to this. I think that's just what it is. I'm just not used to this. Yeah, that's what I was doing. But it's just, okay, well, that's not what I wanted, but what it is, what it is. And then we're just gonna make you tiny. Not stretch. You know what? It's fine if you get stretched a little. Okay. Let me see where. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, no, that doesn't look right. Did I do correct? Okay, we're just gonna act like I did it correctly. Am I using? I don't care. I'm not using the right brush. These brushes are very interesting as well. Very interesting brushes, guys. Okay. Whatever. Guys, this is going so well. I am doing so good. Aren't I just doing amazing? Oh, this song. I love this song. Real. Yes. Absolutely. What was I doing? This is what I was doing. Okay, we're gonna do the hand last because that's at the front. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on everything that's behind, and we're gonna act like there's layers. We're gonna pretend there's layers, okay? Excuse me. We're gonna pretend there's layers, and then we'll see from there. Ha ha ha. Hee hee ha ha. I was debating going into VC, but then I was like, every time somebody joins, I have to be like, I'm live, guys. Because we don't have a live streaming VC. Which is fine, because I think I'm the only one that consistently streams on that server. And even I'm not that consistent. But yeah. Look at that beautiful hand, guys. Look at that beautiful hand. Oh, it's amazing. But you know what? Maybe I should go to VC. It'd be funny if somebody just joins and I'm like, I want to see what I'm doing. Here, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I think the only one who would join would be, what's his face? Camp. Okay, and then I'm just gonna turn off streamer mode so I can hear if anybody joins the VC. You know? It'd be nice to be able to know if somebody joins. Okay, why did that actually not come out bad? Why is that actually kind of nice? Okay. Okay, you know? It's not that bad. Now we're gonna add some shading. But instead of using this brush, we're gonna use this brush. This brush? Or maybe we should use this brush? What's the difference? Okay, that one looks like that. And that one looks like that. Guess we'll go with whichever one this one is. Okay. Wow, guys. This is such beautiful shading. Look how pretty it is. I keep pressing the wrong one. Guys, I love it. I keep trying to press the sides, and then I keep pressing brushes. So pretty. I'm gonna be like those artists that for some reason put the eye socket when they do art. I'm talking about that because I got a video from this one YouTuber who's talking about artists who's lying about their brushes and they're stealing art. Have you seen those like realistic artists who they like do this for the eye socket and then they're like this for the actual eye, and it's like, why'd you do the eye socket in the first place? Like, that wasn't really necessary. But yeah, and then it's like, turns out the reason their brushes don't work is because they're erasing. They lied. Oh, I forgot what color I was using. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Good. That's good. I'm only doing this because I just want the outline of the nose shape. It's just a little easier to do it like that. Okay, so I shaded here because there's... Here. So just so I can remember, we're gonna do this. Or not. Whatever. We're just gonna do this. This is where the sun is, guys. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice. The sun is going that way, guys. The sun that way. Keep that in mind, guys. The sun, it's going that way. It's going that way, guys. In case you couldn't tell, that way's the sunlight. Wait. Just wait. So this is the sun. It's kind of hard because I can't switch colors. But this is the sun with sunglasses. And it's smiley. And I definitely did the wrong pen for this, but it's fine. The sunglasses. The sun's got sunglasses. Lyrics to my obituary. Cross my eyes, stop my tears. Oh my gosh, guys. Just wait until I debut as a VTuber cover artist. I'm gonna sing the best covers ever. As soon as I can afford a vocal trainer. No, I'm just kidding. I can't sing. There's no teaching me to sing. I can't. I like singing. I just can't do it. Just wait, guys. One day. And then I'll have my own VTuber concert. Imagine that. Just me dancing. It's funny how whenever I like pretend to dance along to songs, I have to sway back and forth. So whenever you guys see me going like this, it's because I'm dancing. And that's the only way I can indicate that I'm doing something. Yes, VTuber concert. I can't wait till I can go to a convention. I always wanted to go to one of the like VidCon or TwitchCon. But then I was like, I could get the creator badge and be like, hi, I'm a content creator on Twitch. And they're like, how many followers? And I'm like, 194. And they're like, don't call yourself a creator. I was like, oh. That'd be kind of sad. I'd be like, I'm a small creator. It counts. And they're like, I'm like, come on. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm spewing nonsense, guys. Guys, the heat got to me. Guys, I think the heat got to me. I need a fan. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute my mic so I can like get up and go turn on a fan. It does count? Yes. Thank you. It's too hot. It's too hot to not have a fan on. Okay. I'm not gonna add lips. Yeah, I'm not gonna add lips. We're just not gonna add the lips, guys. Okay, now we have to add highlights. Time for the highlights. Where is the eyedropper? There it is. I know there's not really a need for this. Okay, well those aren't highlights. Just gonna go a little up. Okay. There you go. That's a little better. It's a little more noticeable. You know what? I just gotta say, kudos to the artists that actually can do this. Y'all are some superheroes or something. Because I don't know how artists are able to draw on MS Paint and make it look like a masterpiece. I am struggling. So you know what? You guys are awesome. Especially the ones who do it with the mouse. Like, what is this sorcery and how do I get it? I've seen artists who also make like really detailed artwork and they're like, yeah, I did this on my phone with my finger. And I'm like, what? What? What magic wizard did you go to get that skill? Yeah, I'm just like, how? 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 Like, did, like, what? Like, you wanna share some of that magic with all of us? You wanna give all of us something? Okay, time for the gold. Oh yeah, the angels have gold inside of them as well. We've just got some gold inside. You know, just casually. Just casually got gold inside of them. No need to brag. Bing. No, but yeah, I am amazed whenever an artist tells me that they draw on MS Painter with their finger. No, yeah, just casually containing gold. Don't you contain gold in your body? Isn't your blood made of gold too? No? Oh. Well. No, I'm joking. Imagine that somebody being like, you don't bleed gold, amateur. Like, oh, sorry. Sorry. Eso. I know that's not what he actually says, but it sounds like it. It just sounds like he goes, eso. And I'm like, yes, Jay. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, guys. I watched Blue Beetle the other day. I know, it's like, my body has iron, yet where are my superpowers? No, but I watched Blue Beetle the other day. It was amazing. I love it, and I hope everyone goes to see it. You guys have to watch Blue Beetle, especially if you're Hispanic. If you're Hispanic, go watch Blue Beetle. What are you doing not watching it? It is amazing and deserves so much love. I'm kind of sad it didn't get as much promotion as other movies due to the strikes that are happening. But Blue Beetle is a masterpiece and deserves to be watched, and it is now one of my favorite movies of the year. Yeah. Like, if you haven't watched Blue Beetle yet, what are you doing? Because it's amazing. I want to just talk about it. Like, okay. What is it about? So, it's a DC Comics movie about this guy. I'm blanking on his name. All I can think of is Flaco. Jaime. His name is Jaime. So it's about this guy Jaime. Basically, he just came back from university and he's with his family and he works for, he's like trying to get a job, right? And so he meets this rich lady and gives him something because she stole it. And it's this scarab thing, and it ends up fusing with him and making him into the Blue Beetle. And so, yeah, that's basically like his adventure of becoming the Blue Beetle. It's really good. I like it. The family is Mexican, and so that just made it a lot more impactful for me. The main character is Mexican, and just like a lot of it is a lot of the stuff that is in it, it kind of feels like you have to be a Hispanic or Mexican to get it a bit more, because they really did, like, this truly was a movie for us. Like, they speak Spanish a lot, and sometimes it's translated, sometimes it's not. Like, if they're speaking something important, it gets translated, but sometimes it's not translated to what it means. It's given like a generalized translation instead of a genuine translation. So if you're Hispanic, you understand the translation more, and like there's just little things about it in it that are like, if you know, you know, type of thing. Especially like the music is good. The whole nickname thing, how the nicknames sound like, if you were to translate it in English, they it is an awesome movie. It's amazing. Like every time I talk, I stop trying. But like the nickname thing, it's kind of like sometimes nicknames are about a feature about you, and that can be seen as kind of mean, but for us it's kind of normal. So like the nickname from him is Flaco, which means like skinny. It's like they call him Skinny, like, hey Skinny, come over here, kind of thing. Or like, yeah, but that would be like a generalized meaning of it. But to them, calling him Flaco isn't like seen as making fun of him, or isn't like them mocking him. It's just an endearment thing. And everyone has a nickname. I feel like a lot of Hispanic families can relate to having nicknames for people. I can't tell you guys my nickname because it's a combination of my name and something else. but my mom also calls me mama or mamas, which is it I don't know how to explain it. I get it's probably because I'm the oldest and I had to take on like that type of role, but it's also not like meant to be demeaning or anything. It's just a nickname. It's just the way she refers to me. But yeah, and so I think that's something I related to, and I cried so much during that movie. Because, and this is something my mom pointed out afterwards, she's like, you hear yourself whenever they talk. You hear yourself. And I was like, that's true. Like, the way they talk, the way they sound like my relatives. They talk like my relatives. And I think that was just something that added on to it more. Like, I've never cried a lot during a movie. I've cried during movies, but this is the first time I've cried that much. And it genuinely is, because for me, I felt it. I genuinely felt like I was, like, that's my family. I can see that. That becomes my family too. But yeah, it's a good movie. I really recommend it. Also, like, the music was really good. They not only did they include like songs that are like Spanish songs that a lot of people know and that are very popular in the community, but they also did Spanish version of English songs, which I also thought was really interesting, because a lot of Spanish versions of songs came at a time where American music was like becoming popular in that era, and like that in like Mexico and stuff. And I wrote a paper about this, and I learned about this. Like, I know specifically for rock, a lot of rock, like Hispanic rock bands started out doing covers of English rock songs, and they would translate the lyrics into Spanish, and then because they started doing that, they're like, hey, why don't we start making our own music? And so a lot of music genres kind of came from making covers, and then they're like, we could do this too. We should make our own stuff. You know, we're covering these people's music. Why don't we just do our own things? And so for them to include that was kind of cool, because it's like we took these songs and we kind of made them our own thing too. Because a lot of them don't have the same meaning. I guess a good example would be Ahora te puedes marchar, which what's the original song? Wait, it doesn't help that Arms Tonight is playing. I think it's I Only Want to Be With You, which I think is a love song, but the Spanish version is about this guy whose girlfriend didn't love him, and so she's like, she wants to get back with him, and he's like, well, you didn't want me then, so you're not getting me now, so screw you, leave, basically. But yeah, I don't know, I could go on a rant forever about like this type of like everything about the movie, and I don't want to give spoilers, and I'm really trying hard not to give spoilers. But yeah, have I ever shown you guys the music that I grew up with? I don't think I really grew up like a lot of Chicanos. And for those who don't know, I am Chicana. Chicana is a term to refer to people who were born in the U.S. who are of Mexican descent. Yeah, and I recently started using that term a lot more. I feel like it does encapsulate my identity. But yeah, I don't know if I know I've shared music with you guys on there, but I've never really talked about it on stream, I don't think. But I guess I could talk a little bit about it. I grew up listening to a lot of rock. My mom is immigrated to the US, and she was a huge rock fan. She was a rockera, basically. Rock was the type of music she fell in love with. She doesn't like this what people consider stereotypical Mexican movie like music like banda and reggaeton and stuff like that. That wasn't her jam. And so I grew up listening to not just rock in English like Queen and the Rolling Stones. I not just that. I also grew up with Spanish rock. So I grew up with like Los Teen Tops, Soda Stereo, Fabulosos Cadillacs, and even like ska, like Panteon Rococó, and so that was I thought everyone grew up like that because I grew up like that. So when I met a lot, so I just never brought it up with people because I thought people already knew. And then when I went to university and I was talking to a lot of my Mexican friends, they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, I was like, "Don't you know like this one song by Soda Stereo?" And they're like, "Who's Soda Stereo?" I was like, "You don't know Soda Stereo? Like, how can you not? They were so influential. Like Los Teen Tops, do you know them at least?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "What? What? This isn't common knowledge?" But yeah, and I didn't start listening to like stereotypical traditional Mexican music until my dad introduced my brother and I to that type of music because that's the music he grew up with. He grew up very like Mexican, like ranchero Mexican. My mom didn't really. She kind of did, but not as much. And so he showed us that stuff, like Los Ángeles Azules y los Tucanes de Tijuana or something like that. But yeah. And so, sorry, I'm adjusting how I'm sitting. But despite not growing up like that, I think I was still able to, like, I knew the music that was shown in this movie, and I was able to recognize the songs. And there's one song that I miss. I thought it was a different song by what are they called? El Gran Silencio, but no, it was a different song. I always confuse the two. But yeah, and it was cool to see like, yeah, music is a huge part of our culture, and to see it play a big part in the movie as well was really nice. But yeah, do you guys want to hear some of the songs I grew up with? I can play them now, actually, now that I think about it. I have a playlist called Mom, and it's just a bunch of the Spanish songs I grew up with. Yeah. Okay, let me play this one then. Oh, okay, so this is Molotov. So, I have... My cousins don't like Molotov, I found out. Well, no one didn't like Soda Stereo, but whatever. But the thing about Molotov is Molotov are very, very... They were kind of controversial, but they were very much like, we don't like you, specifically the government. They're like, we don't like you, and we're gonna write a whole song about you. So like, oh, El Gran Silencio, really good. Really good. This is one of my favorite songs by them. Okay, so let me go through this. So one song I remember listening to all the time was La Carencia by Panteón Rococó. So this song is very much it's very much like a critique of the rich people, and talking about how for the reality for a lot of people, it's like working until you die. You have to work until you die, and even then you don't even get you don't get to enjoy the comfort of what you earn. But yeah, it's this one. I remember my mom would always play this on our way to class. I think my mom is the reason I'm so like punk rock and very much like that type of person. And that's something that my cousins also joke. They're like you definitely got that from your mom. they're like, you're this way because of your mom. And that's also something that my uncles have said. My brother and I, something that we were always taught was speak your mind. Tell people, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't let anybody walk all over you, essentially. And you know how some, you guys, I don't know if this is common, but you always have that one tia who's like really gossipy, who tries to get you mad at everything, who tries to like get information out of you. So I have a tia like that, and she did not like my brother and I, because my brother and I would not let her get away with anything. You can't relate with that specific part. It's fine. But my brother and I would not let her get away with stuff. She would try to insinuate certain things, and my brother and I would be like, "What do you mean?" Like, or we would pull up other things. Or like, my uncles would try to pick a fight, and my uncles would try to pick a fight, and we'd end up winning because we would not back down. We don't care. But that's just how we grew up. We learned about, like, my parents always told us, fight back. And so something that my uncles always tell my mom and dad is like, they're like, your kids do not take, I was gonna say something. They're like, they don't take anything. Like, your kids speak up a lot. And my mom told me that one time. She's like, your Theo told me, he was like, you guys, what did she say? There's a specific way she said it. I don't remember how she said it, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure I got that from my mom and stuff. My mom, she would tell us, and something that because my mom is the youngest of her family, of my tios and tias. She's the youngest out of 10 kids. So she kind of grew up with my older cousins, because I think she was 6 when my oldest cousin was born. So they kind of grew up with her, and she took care of a lot of them. So they know my mom when she was in her teenage years and stuff. And so they always tell me, they're like, a lot of the things you do, the way you act, you got that from your mom. They're like, your mom was just like that. And I was like, okay. And even my middle name, they're like, your middle name comes from a revolutionary, doesn't it? They're like, of course your mom would do that. And I was like, yeah, I was named after a Mexican revolutionary. Not to brag, but but yeah, oh my gosh, Sin Ti, this is a good song. King Chango, amazing. Yeah, I know I'm not really like that on stream. I guess the only times I've been like that would be when people have come into my chat to like mess with me. And a specific moment I remember, it'll always be reminded, like it'll always something I remember because I just thought it was hilarious. I remember I was doing a later stream, I think it was like towards the night, and I was just building. And somebody came into my stream, and they're like, I just looked at all your content. Your content is so boring. You should go, unalive yourself. And I started laughing. My reaction was to laugh. Like, Knife, my friend Knife, she immediately banned that person. But my first reaction was to just laugh. And I think I responded, "You're a year too late, buddy." I was like, you told me this a year too late. And then, yeah, I don't know. For me, people telling me to go unalive myself or sending me hate doesn't bother me. Because I know that they have no life. I mean, how much of a life can one have if you're going into somebody's chat and being like, you should go kill yourself? Like, yeah, buddy. Sure, pal. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, I'll always remember that moment because I laughed. I know. I know, I'm just like, okay, whatever you say. It's like that meme. It's like, okay, Grandma, let's get you back home. But yeah. No, honestly. But yeah, that's why I always tell you guys. Just ignore them. That's what they want you to have a reaction, and I know sometimes I do give into it, but I don't know. Oh my gosh, or that one time somebody came into my chat. This wasn't that long ago. Ooh, nice. You can share it into the Discord if you'd like. You don't have to, but I also do want to kind of see it. But there was one time, it was not too long ago, I think it was when I was drawing Jin, and I had gone on a rant about how much I love BTS, and someone came into my chat and they're like, you know they're gay, right? And I'm like, good for them. I was like, oh my gosh, good for them. And this person, they're like trying to get a rise out of me, and they're like, that's gross. You know they're gay. I was like, oh my gosh, I do know. And I was like, you know what? I love that for them. And I was like, are you trying to get a rise out of me? Are you like trying to do this? Because I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna keep supporting them. I don't care about what you have to say. Either you can leave or I ban you. And I think they left. I don't think they liked that reaction. I was like, oh my god, yes. But yeah. I almost had the nerve to say, you know I'm asexual, right? Like, I'm part of the LGBTQIA plus too, right? I'm that little A right before the plus, right? Yeah. I still can't believe that time I like told you guys, I was like, guys, you know what's funny about the whole 69 showing up in all my streams? Joke is that I'm asexual. And KJ just goes, I know, Cherry. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? What does that mean? They're like, Cherry, it's kind of obvious. I was like, oh, okay. Truly funny stuff. Wow, guys, look how beautiful this is coming out. Wow, guys, she looks amazing. She looks so pretty. I love her. Oh, but yeah. I don't know. Very pretty. Yeah, honestly, if you want to get a reaction out of me, it's not gonna happen. I will just mock you. You can try, but to me, the moment you try to like get a reaction out of me, the moment you try to like rile me up, I'm going to assume you're a sad human being and just won't give in. Yeah. Oh, did you share it? Ooh. Are they a beetle? Or, because it looks like they have an elytra, right? That's amazing. I think I was really inspired by Sneak Snag and Phil when it comes to this. I won't. A beetle? Okay, I thought so. Because I saw the elytra, and I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, because especially Sneak, he will not hesitate to call you out. And I love that for him. You know? But yeah. Yep. I'm just like, yeah, no. You remember beetles and ladybugs exist? No, honestly. Yesterday I saw a beetle. It was really nice. It was like a white beetle with it looked like it had those like elongated mandibles type things. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah. I don't know what it's called either. But yeah. It was really nice. It was a really nice beetle. But yeah. Cada vez que te busco te vas. Y cada vez que te llamo no estás. Es por eso que debo decir que... Dude, I don't know. I used to play this all the time and I got it stuck in my head. I'd always get the song stuck in my head. It's a good song. But yeah. Actually, it's not that bad. I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's not that bad. We're trying. These songs are amazing. I'm glad. I'm glad. What's next? What song's next? So I could talk about. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Maldita Vecindad is coming up with Pachuco. Amazing. Amazing. That essay that I wrote for my music class, I wrote about this song in it. I wrote about 6 different songs and this was one of them. This is amazing. I love them. I love Maldita Vecindad. You guys should definitely check out their music. Especially this one. I think the album is El Gran Circo. Oh no, El Gran Circo is one of their songs. Oh no, it is El Gran Circo. But yeah. Also, so the song is called Pachuco. And Pachucos were subculture. They're still actually around. I know in LA there's some shops that make Pachuco clothing. But short little history lesson. I didn't know the word. So Pachucos were people who wore these like suits. So like here, I'll draw it out for you guys. So Pachucos wear these like suits. They're like very exaggerated figures, basically. And so they had like those wide-legged pants, and the women had like heavy makeup and stuff. And so it was a subculture because at the time, okay. I don't know why the eraser was like that, but okay. But because at the time, what's it called? So a lot of Mexican Americans or Chicanos, were told they were too Mexican to be American and too American to be Mexican, which is a very common problem. It's like white people see you only as Mexican, but Mexicans don't think you're Mexican enough. And so this was around the 1930s, 1940s. So a subculture came out called Pachucos. They embraced a lot of traditional Mexican traditions and like cultures, and they made it into their own thing. Like they had the exaggerated clothing, the nice hairstyles, the heavy makeup, stuff like that. And that was just the way they were. They dressed all nicely, and especially they were inspired by disco and stuff. But a lot of Americans didn't like it because World War II was happening, and they already viewed Mexicans as not being American and being unpatriotic. And so they saw these people engaging in a subculture to show their pride in their heritage and stuff. And they're like, no. And so they started banning them. And there's actually this the riot that happened, or it wasn't a riot, it was more like an attack, where basically this one guy was found dead, and So the police believed it was this group of Pachucos who did it, and so they would go around arresting any Hispanic teenager that they saw. And so because they're arresting people for no reason, and like they weren't just arresting them, they were like beating these kids up and then arresting them. And so these kids they're like beating these kids up, they were arresting them, and then they were just leaving them in jails for like weeks. And so obviously the Hispanic community got upset because they're like, hey, these are our kids. Like, why are you doing this to them? They didn't do anything wrong. Like, nothing wrong happened. This was just like a whole misunderstanding. And because of the view of them being unpatriotic and stuff, a bunch of white sailors went to this area where they knew there a lot of Pachucos hung out, and they went and beat them all up. And dude, I remember learning about this in history, and my teacher was like, it was not racially motivated. It was just because they wanted to. Okay, so the way she explained it was, she was like, it's World War II, and there's they're banning this type of clothing because they viewed it as too much fabric. They're like, oh, we had a shortage, so they're like, oh, we have to conserve the fabric and stuff. So these kids who wore baggy, like these very exaggerated big clothes are unpatriotic because their clothes take a lot of fabric, despite them being handmade and being like stuff from a lot of stuff that they already had. Anyways, and so she was like, oh, well, you know, they were viewed as unpatriotic, so to kind of get them to submit and to like see their views are wrong, there was an attack, but it wasn't racially motivated. Just because they were Mexican and the people were white doesn't mean it was about race. Yeah, it was so very much racially motivated. And I remember going home and I told my mom, and my dad's like, I know about that event because we got taught about it. And my mom's like, she was like, what did she say? And I was like, she said it wasn't about race. She was like, it wasn't racially motivated. It was like nationally motivated or something like that. And my mom was like, that's so wrong. That's not true. And I told my friends about it, and they're like, no, like it's such a clearly racially motivated event. And I actually went to this museum by I know, it's stupid. I hated that teacher. She was so racist. I remember she was like, the first week, because it was for American U.S. history. Of course it's American U.S. It was for U.S. history. It was for U.S. history, and I remember the first week we were learning about the indigenous people of the U.S. and the Americas, and then the colonization. The book, I remember it said, I know, honestly, but the book, I remember, said something about like, oh, the Spanish didn't enslave people. They didn't mean to enslave people. And my teacher, she was like, the Spanish weren't here to enslave. They were just here for other things. Okay, I should probably continue drawing. I just realized I forgot a little gold piece there. Oh my gosh, just thinking about her makes me upset. That's fine. I'm just gonna color pick right now. I think I used this, didn't I? I did. We're just gonna do this. Welcome back. But yeah, my teacher, she was like, the Spanish weren't here to enslave, and a majority of the stuff they didn't involve the indigenous people. Or she was like downplaying colonization to us. And I was like, what? Like, I'm sorry, what? But yeah, after that, I knew I wasn't gonna like her. And then we got to World War II and all of that, and I was like, okay, I definitely don't like her. But yeah, evil teacher, truly. She genuinely was an evil teacher. I don't even think she liked me either. But that's not neither here nor there. Okay, time for the hand. We're just gonna pretend that hand came out decently. Yes, I realize I'm not going with the sketch. It's because I messed up the sketch. Is this baby tu sangre? It is. Yeah, I kind of have an idea on why she didn't like me, you know. I looked down on my arm. Yeah. But, you know, it's behind us. It is what it is. My brother, she said it's not racially motivated. Honestly. My brother, one of his friends has her as a teacher, because my brother goes to the same high school that I went to. And he told his friend, he told his friend everything that I said about the teacher and how she's racist. And his friend was like, I see it. Nope, yeah, no, yeah, she definitely is. He's like, you're right, your sister's right. And I was like, see, I wasn't crazy. I was like, see, I didn't just I wasn't exaggerating stuff. I didn't just imagine it. But yeah, no, sometimes I feel like maybe people aren't racist and I'm just overthinking things, and then I get proven right. And I'm like, I knew. I just knew. But yeah. Yeah. It's like, I know. I know. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Speaking of racists. Okay, so my mom and I, we're going to a bridal shower, right? And we had to stop at Hobby Lobby to buy something. And so we're in waiting line, but we were in Hobby Lobby in Temecula. And so Temecula, California, Hobby Lobby, or just Temecula, California, is very much conservative, very much white people. At least the parts that I've been to, it's only been white people. So we were in Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby is a very Christian, it is a Christian store. So, you know, Christian store in conservative town, racist. It's the only thing I could say. So my mom and I, we're the only Mexicans in there. Like, there's probably a couple other people of color, but everybody else was white. And it wasn't packed back, but there was a decent amount of people. And so my mom and I, we go and wait in line, and this lady, there's a cart in front of us, right? There's an old lady at the cash register. She's getting her food, she's paying for her stuff, and then there's a shopping cart right behind her filled with stuff. So my mom and I just stand there. We are not thinking about anything to do with anybody around us. We're just talking about, like, how we're gonna get to the bridal shower and stuff like that, right? So we stand there, and then all of a sudden I see the lady who was on the side looking at some shelves immediately sees us and immediately goes back to her cart. And she goes to her cart and then moves forward with it. so she puts distance between us. And I look at my mom, and she looks at me because we were not near her cart at all. There was like a good few feet in front of us, like we social distance still. So there was like a good distance between us and her cart. And this lady, and I could see her, she looks a little tense, like her shoulders and her arms are close to her body. And my mom starts speaking to me in Spanish, and she's telling me, she's like, this lady in front is racist. This lady, she's like, don't get close to her, because you don't know what she's gonna do. She's like, just let her be. We don't need any trouble. We're already late. And me, being me, so there's a lot of space. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just turn my body? So here, let me give you a visual of how this interaction was going. So, I'm gonna skip that song. And this one too. Oh, okay. Well, it's just giving all Molotov right now. Okay. I know. So basically, this is my mom and me. Okay. My mom and me. Okay, so when we first get there, this is like where the lady's cart is, right? There's space between us. And then the lady comes over and she moves her cart even more. So she's now over here, right? Like there's this much space between us and this lady and her shopping cart. So this lady, she's over here with her shopping cart. And so I was next to my mom. We were right next to each other. So I move over so that I'm like angled like this. And I have like, I'm leaning more this way. Cause I tend to lean on one leg. So I leaned over more towards her. My mom looks at me. And she's like, don't do that. And I smile at my mom, and I'm in Spanish to her. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just standing here. And so my mom, she's just like, okay. And I can see from the corner of my eye, the lady, she looks like she's slowly scooting that way. And so we're in the aisle, right? We're still waiting to get the food, not to get food, no, not food, to get to the cashier. And so in the next aisle next to us, there's gum. So my mom, she's like, oh, we need gum anyway, so let me go. So she grabs, and the gum is like a little more this way next to this. She walks by the lady. The lady glances at her. I'm watching the lady, by the way, this entire time. The lady glances at her. She scoots even more forward. So my mom's like next to her. They're still a bit distant, but she's like near her trying to pick out gum. This lady's just watching my mom, like side-eyeing her. And so she scoots forward. Not scoots forward. She takes a full-on step forward. So I'm like, oh, you know, line is moving. So I also scoot forward. And my mom walks back next to me, and she's like, stop that, you're scaring her. And so finally, it's this lady's turn to go up and pay. And my mom grabs my arm before I can move even more forward. I know. But my mom grabs me before I can move forward, and she's like, just let her. So the lady's like over here now, and we're like over here, basically. And so this lady, she's like trying to avoid looking in our direction. And she's just trying to hurry up and pay. Honestly. And it was hilarious. And then we get to the cash register, right? So my mom tends to pay in cash just because she always has a lot of cash on her. So she just like prefers to pay in cash, which is fine because I prefer to pay in cash too. And so my mom hands the cashier a $50 bill, right? And it's an old white lady. It's another white person who's definitely also racist. But it's an old white person, right? This lady, she grabs the $50 bill and she starts inspecting it. Like, I get it if it's 100, because I've never seen anyone ever inspect a $50. I've only seen them like inspect $100 because it makes sense. And I've handed people $50 before. But this lady, she grabs, and she doesn't do just, you know, how they check it on the light? No, she doesn't just do that. She checks it on the light, she pulls out this other light, she, like, a little mini flashlight, she puts it there, and then she, like, does something else, and then she puts it in the cash register. And I'm like, and I look at my mom, and she just nods at me like, I know what you're gonna say. She's like, yes, this lady did just do that. And then in Spanish, she tells me, she's like, of course they did. I know. And I'm just staring at this lady. I'm full on making eye contact with her. I was like, you want to say something? Say it. But yeah, she didn't tell us. She was also very quietly speaking. So, I don't really know. Thank you, Nightbot. Thank you for telling us that. But yeah, we left the store and I just started laughing. My mom's like, she's like, what do you expect? She's like, we're in Temecula. She's like, you should have expected this. And I was like, I know, but it's so funny to make white people scared. No, I know. It's like, apparently I had... It's like, and you know what's funny? Both my mom and I were dressed very nicely. Why? Because we were going to a bridal shower. So we were both wearing dresses, full of makeup. My mom straightened her hair. Like, I had my hair unstraightened. I don't like straightening my hair anymore. So I have my, like, hair kind of curly. But we were both dressed very nicely. My mom's in heels. I got my docs on because my docs go with my dress. But... we're both very well dressed. We both have very, like, it's very obvious we're going to an event. And this lady, and it's like, yes, lady, we're going to this event dressed very nicely, very easily recognizable with our outfits. Yes, lady, we're here to scam you. No, honestly. It reminds me of, it's like that song by Mia, M-I-A. The Paper Planes. If you guys didn't know, Paper Planes is a song about, like, it's like joking and making fun of the stereotypes people have of immigrants. And it's like, yes, person, I am doing all of these crimes because I'm an immigrant, so yes, this is what I do. It's just making fun of that, and that's what I could only think of. But yeah. I started laughing. And my mom, she's like, these people are filled with hate. You can't, it's like, it sucks, but that's just how they are. And she's like, I understand what you were doing, but please don't do that again because next time they might actually try something. And I was like, no, I know. I know never to do that when there's a white guy near. I know it sounds mean, but I only do it when it's white women. Because I know that all they will do is yell and cry if they actually do try to call us out. But white guys will attack you. And that scares me. So, yeah. And it's not like I'm actually doing anything. I'm just living near them. I just live around them. It's not my fault they're scared of me for no reason. That's adorable. Aww. A little nopal with a sombrero and mustache? That sounds cute. I want one. Yay! Post it. I want to see it. I have an idea of what it looks like, but I want to see it just to confirm. Yeah. Honestly, okay, that reminds me. So something that a lot of Mexicans talk about is the fact that we don't really get offended by like the whole stereotype of ponchos and mustaches and sombreros. Because you can look at any old film and that's literally how they're dressed. I know because I always watch a lot of old films with my abuelita. Oh, Café Tacuba. They're playing. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of how they look. But, and it doesn't bother me too much. Oh my gosh. You didn't say he has googly eyes and a nose. I love that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's adorable. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of VeggieTales. It reminds me of VeggieTales character. I love that. But yeah, that stuff doesn't bother me. It only bothers me, if they do an accent. That's the only time it bothers me. Like, if you want to wear the clothes, go ahead, just don't do the accent. That's what bothers me a little. But I went to Disney one time with the only time I've been to Disney, basically. And It's a Small World. And their sombreros so a sombrero, it's like this, right? And then it's curved. It's a little taller than that. But it's kind of like that, essentially, right? You guys have seen sombreros. But the ones that It's a Small World, they were like pointed. And I was like, what? Like, if you're gonna do that, at least make it pointed, not pointed, rounded. Like, it looks like a witch's hat. Like, at least get it right. If you're gonna be racist, get it right. But yeah, I was like, okay. That's the only thing that bothered me. I was like, you can add the sombrero, just make it rounded. But yeah. Honestly. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't have a lot, but I have a couple of, like, stuff where I've dealt with racists. One thing I like to do is just stare. If they stare at me, I stare back. Yeah. Oh, this happened 2 days ago, on Monday. Literally, we were, I don't know what it is, but people just leave old ladies in cars. Well, no, I do know what it is. They kind of just get tired of walking. But but we were walking back, and we had to pass by a car. And they decided to get them pure British accent. That's funny. That is funny. But we walked by this car on the way to our car, and I was with my dad and my brother, and this old white lady is in this car. She looks up and she just stares at my dad and brother, and like she just full on and she keeps staring, like not even side-eyed stare, like she full on turns her head and watches us until we get into our car. And I start laughing. I was like, yes lady, we are walking by your car, nice to meet you. And what's funny is when I was getting into my side of the car, there's this other older lady sitting in her car, and she looks at me and she just smiles, and she nods her head, and I smile back and nod my head, and she just goes back to staring ahead. And I told my mom, because my mom heard me. My brother heard me. No, my brother, he heard me. He's like, what happened? Because he heard me say something, but he didn't hear me, and so I explained. And mom, she's like, that's just how old people are. She's like, old people stare. And I was like, I know. But this lady didn't. So she's nice. She's good in my books. I like this old lady. But yeah. Old people sometimes be wilding, I suppose. Yeah. What other racist stories? I luckily haven't had any, like, actual racist people, do anything or, like, say anything to me. Usually it's just, it's usually just my mom and I are speaking Spanish, or my mom speaking Spanish to me, and a racist person will just, like, glare at us. Or, actually, there was one time, I think my mom was speaking Spanish, and this lady behind us. Okay. Okay, we're going for a walk, everybody. Okay, guys, I get to go touch grass. um, what was I saying? We were talking Spanish, and there's this lady behind us. She was on her phone, and my mom and I were speaking Spanish, and she like glared at us. And I think to the person on the phone, she mentioned something about people speaking Spanish, and my mom, she was just like, ignore her, like we don't have to, we have to go home and eat, like just ignore her, because we were at the grocery store buying food so we could go make food. And mom was just like, ignore her, like don't even bother. And we were like, I was like, okay. And yeah, that was it. That was the only time like a racist person has said anything. Usually they just glare at us. Like, yes, lady, I can see you looking at me. A glare or stare? Oh, I have been followed several times. In stores? I have been followed in stores. No, honestly, they are. I remember one time my mom, brother, and I, we went to Marshall's, and it was, again, we were the only non-white people there. And we were walking, and this employee was following us. Like, literally, every aisle we went to, like, we didn't even get that far into the store. We were still at the front, and this person was just following and watching us. And my mom, she told me, and she didn't even say it in Spanish this time, in English. Yes, I know. My mom, she out loud said, she's like, they're watching us. She's like, they're following us. And I think the person heard her because they tried to make it less obvious that they were following. But my mom, she was like, I'm not dealing with this today. Let's just leave. And so we did. And my brother didn't understand because he didn't hear what she was saying. And so when we left, he was like, why are we leaving? We didn't, like, he was like, we were only there for a little bit. And I was like, they were following us. And he was like, oh, stupid white people. And I was like, okay. He was like, they're so racist. I was like, yeah. But okay, we haven't even left the store yet. I was like, we're barely at the door, dude. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. But yeah, and like the first time I bought at a Stater Brothers on my own, you guys should know I only wear black. I wear all black all the time, and at the time I had my hoodie on. Honestly, they are. And I had my backpack with me because I had to walk to buy groceries. And so I was like, I'm not carrying anything and everything in my hand. So I was like, oh, let me take my backpack. I had my headphones on because I have really bad anxiety. So I don't want to interact with people. So I had my headphones on. I was listening to music, and I was followed throughout the entire store. Every single aisle I went through was the exact same employee. I know. It's stupid. But I got followed by the exact same employee. Like, they would literally, it was, I would walk through an aisle, and then they would show up at the end of the aisle, pretend to put something away, and then when I moved out of the aisle, it was like they were in the next aisle at the end again, pretending to look at something. And it was actually, yeah, and then I was like, okay, like, I get it look kind of suspicious. So I made sure never to touch my backpack, because I was like, I don't want them to accuse me of stealing. And I made sure not to touch anything I wasn't sure I was going to buy. So I had my shopping cart. Every single item that I touched, I made sure to put it in my cart because I was going to buy it. So if I saw something and I wanted to look at it, I just looked at it from afar. I was like, I can't really hold it. Because if I hold it, that means I have to buy it. Because then they're going to think I'm stealing it. So I also made sure to not touch my backpack. My backpack stayed on my back the entire time. And then I didn't reach for my backpack until I got to the cash register. And I had put everything on the conveyor belt. And then I grabbed the backpack and I made sure to stand right in front of the cashier where they could see. And I pulled out my wallet and I made sure to close it. And like I had my backpack inside of them the entire time. And I was just like, okay. And I didn't put my food into my backpack until after I left. And I had my receipt and everything. Because I was like, I don't want to deal with being accused of stealing or anything. And luckily after that, they never followed me again. When I went to the store. But yeah. And it was so obvious too. Like, when I go grocery shopping, I have my headphones on, so I'm not fully paying attention. I'm like a little zoned out, just kind of thinking. They were so obvious that I noticed it right away. Like, I noticed it, like, after the third aisle. And I was like, okay, this person's definitely following. But yeah. Yeah, some people. Some people just are stupid. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know what other racist stuff I've encountered. Besides, yeah, like I said, it's just been following. I had, there was this one time, we were at Panda Express, and, all the Panda Expresses where I live, let's just call them special, okay? All the Panda Expresses where I live, a majority of the employees are Hispanic, right? And so my mom was talking to my brother and I in English. And my mom has, growing up, so the reason I don't speak Spanish too well is because my brother had hearing problems growing up, and so, like, and by that I mean he was born deaf, and he didn't get hearing until, he was 2, so we were told, oh, you can't speak multiple languages with him, because he just won't, it will just confuse him a lot. So we spoke English growing up because we grew up in the U.S. So my mom speaks to us in English. And so one time we went to Panda Express, and so we were talking to my mom about our day in English, and so she was responding to us in English. And the employee started talking to my mom in Spanish, and my mom responded to her in English because she was already speaking English. And the employee got mad that my mom would not talk to her in Spanish. Like, she got visibly annoyed that and she kept speaking in Spanish with an attitude, trying to get my mom to respond to her in Spanish. And my mom was like, I don't have to, when we left, she was like, I don't have to speak Spanish with people. Like, I get it that you're speaking Spanish to me, but that doesn't mean I have to speak Spanish with you. And she's like, I don't have to explain the reason why I'm not speaking Spanish with you. And that's also something. People get annoyed that my brother and I don't speak Spanish to my mom a lot. They'll, like, actually get upset with my mom. And she's like, I don't have to explain to you my child's life story on why we can't speak Spanish to him. Like, I don't have to tell you every single time we can't speak Spanish to him so he doesn't get confused. Like, it's just annoying. And that's why that whole, you're not Mexican enough to be Mexican, but you're not American enough to be American comes in. Because it's like, here in the US, they're racist to us. They don't like us because of the color of our skin. But then we get hated on by our own people because we're not Mexican enough. And it's just, it's a lot. It sucks. And I remember something that stuck with me. No, honestly. Something that stuck with me when I watched the Selena movie was that one of the quotes was, you have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans and more American than the Americans to be accepted in both communities. Because they will only see one thing, and it's the fact that you aren't fully one or the other. And I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of true. It does feel like that sometimes. That's why I make an emphasis on whenever you guys do fan art. I was like, please, like, on my Twitter, I have it pinned where it's the skin tone that I use, because I really do want people to know that I am Hispanic. I do. That's why it's also one of the tags, because I really do want. I don't want my identity to be erased. And yeah, sometimes when I look at my model, I'm like, is it obvious that she's Hispanic? Oh my goodness. No, honestly, some people just don't get things. If you couldn't tell, I'm kind of done drawing. I don't want to keep drawing. I mean, it's not that bad. I feel like it's not that bad. The hand definitely needs to be fixed. The big hand, I just don't want to fix it. But yeah. No, at that point, I'm just like, you know what, forget it. If you didn't get it the first time, you're not gonna get it again, so just forget it. Thank you. It's my first time in a long time, so you know what? I give myself a pass. I didn't even do her eyes or wings yet, but we'll do that another time, I suppose. But yeah. I'm thirsty. Okay, guys, quick water break. I'm going to grab water, and you guys should as well. So I shall be right back. Okay, whether you're live here with me or watching the VOD, make sure you drink water and stay hydrated. And we are going to go to just chatting. We're going to do just chatting. Yeah, why not? We'll just talk. Oh, fun fact. Okay. Okay. Fun fact. So the reason, I don't know if I ever shared the reason why you guys are axolotls. Like why I love obviously with the ice, yes, obviously. Why I love axolotls so much. Have I shared it with you guys? I don't know if I have. Yes, axolotls are cute. But axolotls are native to Mexico City. If you guys didn't know, axolotls are native to Mexico. And so that's why I love axolotls as well. And that's why you guys are axolotls. Yeah. And I actually got an axolotl shirt. Oh, I didn't take a picture of it. I said I was going to last time, and I didn't. I should. I'll take a picture of it to show you guys. But yeah, axolotls are native to Mexico. If you didn't know. And I believe they're ajolotes. Ajolot. I don't know if it's ajolot or ajolote. But yes. Also, do you guys like that you're in the poster? You guys are the poster, essentially. Now you know more. So fair, do 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 do. It's cute. I know. I know. But yeah. Okay, sounds good. this is Hombres G. Actually, I don't really listen to. I don't think I have a song by them. Do I? Calle. Oh, I don't. So there's one. There's this one artist that my mom likes, Calle 13. And actually, one of their songs was in the Blue Beetle movie, which was awesome. Cause they're they're more hip hop than they're hip hop from Puerto Rico. But yeah, this is Hombres G. But this is the song. You like this songs? That's good. That's good. This is the music I grew up listening to. But yeah. This is the song that was in this movie. Yeah. I love music. Music is amazing, and sharing music with you guys is amazing. Yeah. There's also a lot of older songs that are okay. Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna look for the song. I have another playlist that's just Spanish songs. Let's see. Okay, next playlist. Next song. Oh my gosh, this song. Where is the song? El Gran Silencio. Oh wait, I think I passed it. No, it did not. Thank you, Nightbot. Why can I not find it? Esto es el Chuntero Star. There's a song I want to talk to you guys about. But for some reason, I cannot find it. Oh, found it. We'll listen to it after this. Oh, thank you, Nightbot, again. Esto es el Chuntero Star, porque tanto hagamos finir para lo que juegan. I remember, my mom, so the reason I say I grew up with this music is because literally my mom would always play music. She's cooking, music. She's cleaning, music. We're driving, music. She's just sitting there, music. Which is also how I am. But my mom will put music on the TV. And I remember one time we were listening to her playlist and this song came on and she started showing my brother and I had to dance to the song. Which is really nice. Ooh. But yeah. Oh, I'm still so upset. We were supposed to go to Panteon Orococo. I remember one time they came to my town and my mom wanted to go and then my dad said no and we were so sad. And we were near the venue and we could hear the music. And then we actually got tickets for my mom's birthday to go see them, and then they canceled, and it's so sad. So sad. So very sad. But yeah. I don't know. I like rock music. I also started listening to a lot of punk rock in Spanish. So like Downtown Boys, Los Cerdos. Let me find the playlist. I have two playlists, technically speaking. Where's the second playlist? I see one of them, but for some reason I do not see the other. Okay, maybe I'm just not looking. Oh, here it is. Los Peyotes, the Zeros, Los Crudos. Not Cerdos, Crudos, that's what it was. The Bags, Downtown Boys. Who else? Oh, Radio Futura. These are like the punk. Oh, Vulpes. Okay. So this guy, Vicente Fernandez, he is just amazing. But this song, oh my goodness. It's amazing. Oh, okay. Welcome back. So I was going to talk about this song. This song is called A Mi Manera by Vicente Fernandez, and he is one of the most, like, significant people in Mexican history and culture. And so this song, I did not know was a cover of an English song. And I wonder if you guys could tell what song it is. But yeah. And I do want to say the first time I heard this song was in Happy Feet. I'm just gonna say that. He's such a good singer. I love his music. So, I think right here you guys might be able to know. But, it's My Way. It's a cover of the song My Way by Frank Sinatra. So, growing up, I didn't know a lot of songs that I listened to in Spanish were English covers. This one being one of those. I remember hearing this one on Happy Feet, and my mom started playing it for us. And I listened to it, and it wasn't until I went to a restaurant one time and they were playing it. And my brother and I looked at each other, and then I looked at my mom, and I started actually paying attention to it. And I was like, wait, this is a cover of the My Way? And she's like, yeah? Didn't you know? And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, it's literally the same title. And like, I realized that now. Yeah, it's a very popular cover. Let's see. I want to see if I can find any other songs that are covers. Oh, what is it called? Something about Chicago? Oh, it just wasn't. La Noche que Chicago Murió, I think is. La Noche. Okay, no. La Noche que Murió Chicago. Okay, so this. Wait. Okay. Was it just not added to the queue? Add to queue. So this one is also very catchy. And Oh no. Are you okay? I hate when that happens. I have long hair. I started having my hair down a lot recently. So whenever my earrings is stuck in my hair, because I have long earrings. My earrings are like on chains and stuff. And they're very dangly. So they get stuck in my hair a lot. So whenever I pull my hair, it always pulls the earring, and I know how that feels. It's so painful. But but this song, it's very catchy. I love it. It gets stuck in my head all the time. I was watching TikTok. Oh, I want steak earrings. That sounds so awesome. I want some. But this song, I saw a TikTok and it's like songs you didn't know were Spanish covers. This one was a Spanish cover. I didn't know. And I was like, what? What? No way. I was like, no way. This sounds so good in Spanish. It sounds like it was meant to be in Spanish. But no. No, sadly. Well, not sadly, but yeah. But yeah. This one also I didn't know was a cover. Yeah. There's a lot of songs. I just can't remember all of them. But you know who did a cover of this song? Super Junior. The K-pop group Super Junior did a cover of this song, and it actually isn't bad. Like, it's not bad at all. Thank you! My friend Knife's made it for me. Or Krobus. She goes by Krobus now. She rebranded. I still say Knife because I asked her and she said Knife is, I could call her Knife still. But I need to get into the habit of calling her Krobus since that's what her name is. But yes, she made it for me. She asked me, she's like, what do you want to base, like, what style do you want your model to have? And I was like, scene kid mixed with punk. So yeah, so technically Cyborg Cherry is a scene kid. If you couldn't tell by the vibrant colors. But yeah. Like, here, I'll show you. I'm gonna show you guys my model. Okay, there you go. That's very yes. So this is my model. So you guys could get a look at her. I haven't really shown you guys how she looks. You guys have only seen her in drawings, but yeah, she... Oh, I just realized the design of the pants. But yeah, she's got a lot of belts. She's got her gloves. She's got her little shark bag. She's got her little side pouch. Of course, the striped thigh-high sock. But yeah. Oop. Slain? I know, guys. I know. But yeah. Let me reset to her. But yeah. Look at her. She's amazing. I love her. Wait. So this is the Super Junior cover. Mind you, this is a K-pop group. And like they even recreated the music video too. Like they all wore a blonde wig to match Luis Miguel. Like, their Spanish is really good. Ahora te puedes marchar. Yeah. Like, honestly. Dude, I used to play this all the time, and my brother... It got to the point where my brother likes it now. It's kind of funny. It is. It truly is. No supiste amar. Ahora te puedes marchar. Let's see. What other songs can I show you guys? What songs are fun? Oh, okay. This isn't. I said what songs are fun, and the first song I saw that I want to talk to you about is "Song." That's a sad song. Okay. So, this song is called Dos Gardenias. Now, because of this song, gardenias are my favorite flower. Gardenias, if you guys didn't know, those are my favorite flowers. And the reason is because this is a song my mom would always play from my abuelita. And my abuelita loves the song as well, and she always sings it. And so whenever I hear this song, I can only think of my abuelita. Because it's her song. For me, this is my abuelita song. I want to see if it updates the music. Okay, that's not updated. But this one is one of the songs. And then there's also Perfume de Gardenia, which is another song that my abuelita sings and likes. And then there's also Silencio, which is by the same group from the last song. I know. These songs are so pretty. But these songs remind me of my abuelita. Yeah. I saw her 2 weeks ago. Last week. It was the last week she left. Yeah, she was with us for a while, and then she went back with my tia. But there's this one, and then there's Silencio, which I'm only gonna listen to a little bit, because Silencio always makes me cry. Because it's just another one of the songs that makes me cry. But one of the lyrics that it's basically one of the lyrics I like, the translated version says, it's basically like, be quiet because the flowers are sleeping, and if they wake up they'll see me crying and they'll die of sadness. And this is a song that really does make me want to cry. So we gotta change it because I'm gonna cry. But yeah, this one is also, I remember listening to this song as a kid and wanting to learn the accordion. I've always wanted to learn the accordion. I just thought it would be fun. And I remember I told this to my friends one time in high school. I was like, this song made me want to learn the accordion. And they laughed at me. They're like, you want to learn the accordion? Like, that's so hilarious. Why would you want to learn that instrument? But my tío plays the accordion, and he told me one time he'd teach me. But yeah, I felt embarrassed that day. So it's like, oh, okay. But yeah. Yep. And basically the lyrics are like, the road of life is very hard. It wasn't what I expected. But that's okay. And then, yeah, very. And then there's Cheyenne. Dude, I heard this song. Now, I didn't hear this song from my family. I didn't hear this song from my friends. I didn't hear it on the radio or through TikTok. I learned this song from a Minecraft parody of it. I learned about this song from a Minecraft parody by the Spanish streamer called Rubius. He made a Minecraft parody of the song called Minero. And it got stuck in my head. And I just started listening to it. Sé que sé torero, volver al amarero. No que venga pa' que sepas que te quiero porque sé. Yeah, but yeah. It's funny. It's very funny. But yeah, some songs are just like that. There's a lot of funny songs. Oh, hello. Sorry, I was streaming. I forgot I was. I don't know. I forgot I was in here. To be honest, you scared me. I was talking about music, and then you just came in. I don't think they can hear you. Oh, you don't want them to hear you? Okay. Oh, he doesn't want you guys to hear him. So they have to know. They can't. It just seems like I'm talking to myself at this point. I can end stream. I was gonna end stream soon anyways. I said. What? I literally just said I'm live streaming. Yes, not. Oh my goodness. No, I was just streaming. I was doing another MS Paint drawing. And then now I'm talking about music. Yeah. Okay, I shall end stream then. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I'm gonna end stream now. Sorry about that. But I'm just gonna chill with camp. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is for you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!